Ja, Marius fragt sich, ob wir bereit sind und hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge von Avowed, von dem Spiel, von welchem ich dachte, es ist schon lange vorbei. So, aber wir müssen uns hier noch mit 2 Begleitern unterbreiten.
You're probably right. I guess it helps we have a god on our side, right? I mean, a god beats a skeleton knight any day. This is just cleanup. Just figuring out who controls the living lands from here out. You have a lot to do. I just need to survive and make sure you live through this. Anyway, you should get some rest. Oh, if you need to rehearse any speeches or whatever, make sure you do it in front of someone else. It's not that I don't want to. It's that I'd just rather not. Talk to you later, Envoy.
So, Giada hat auch noch was.
So, here we are. The first and last battle for the living lands.
Meine Fernbedienung ist nicht hier. Scheiße, mir wird kalt. Wartet mal. Ich habe mal meinen Kühlventilator ein bisschen ausgemacht. So. Wir können nur hoffen, dass es die letzte ist.
Try praying instead of just hoping. That might work better for you.
Ach so.
Metaphysically, the battle is already over. Sapadal is free, and the Dream Scourge is gone. But politically, we have a small mess to tidy up. I intend to send a message to the Steel Garrote, and it won't be subtle. Anyway, who knows what tomorrow will bring, so let's be grateful for today. You've earned a little peace of mind. I think that's enough wool gathering for now. Besides, I need to tinker on the phantasmal focus. Make sure it's ready for war. Don't stay up too late. I'll tell you whatever I know. Until next time.
Hä? Was war denn das jetzt? Ich dachte, wir sind durch.
You liberated the god. That's quite a gamble you made. I admire your confidence. If not for you, Sapadal would still be pacing their cage like a wild animal. Which means you have leverage over a god. How do you plan on using it? You're probably better off then. Sapadal's imprisonment shaped this island. Now that everything's changed, I'm curious what will happen. We cannot know if the living lands will normalize or destabilize as a result of our actions.
Ich will mir nur sehr ungern vorstellen, wie ein instabiles Land der Lebenden aussieht.
For better or worse, change is inevitable. Maybe you'll find some comfort in prayer, now that one of the gods is listening. I hope you don't mind me bringing it up. The subject matter is a bit much for our little camp.
Eines Tages möchte ich mehr über deine Abenteuer erfahren.
We're not finished yet. For that I'm grateful. I want you to know this has been an unforgettable experience. Wherever we go from here, I'm grateful to have been a part of it. Until next time. You too.
Geschafft. Gut. So, jetzt müssen wir noch... Jetzt die Erzählrunde geht weiter. Ich nehme mal wieder Kai mit, ne? Ich Ich weiß nicht, warum er eben dabei war. Ich hatte ihn nicht ausgewählt, das war zu sehen, ne? Jetzt sind nur die beiden da. Wir sollen mit jedem Anführer des Lagers sprechen. Hier sind die Zwerge.
Envoy, how did you... I don't know. Where did you come from? You just appeared out of nowhere. Once word about Paradis reached us, we were allowed to go. But listen to me rambling. Forgive me, Envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make one request while you're here. As much as you can, be good to the living lands.
Selbst nach allem, was das Land...
Yes, but more than that, I'd just like for us to live lives that are free. For us. Not Adir to determine our fates.
Ja.
It's going to be up to you, Envoy. I know you have much to do, so I'll just leave you with that. Thank you.
Mit wem kann ich noch reden? Hier ist noch was. Ah, klau ich. Kann ich mit noch irgendjemandem reden? Ach, Petru! Aber sie ist nicht da, ne? Okay. Also, das war sie.
I don't wanna go to Yeswa.
As soon as my gun's cleaned, I'll get out there. Risk a jam on the battlefield. The living lands needs me. That's what Tamerti said. If this is how I repay my debt to her for killing a man in her lighthouse, so be it. I thought I'd feel different. I was still dead. It's still just me.
The fighting has to stop.
Envoy, I knew you'd show up eventually.
How is Emerald Stair? More importantly, how are you?
Thriving on both counts, I'm happy to report. My revenants were just getting comfortable in Thirdborn when the Steel Garrote stepped out of line. When I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, this is a job for the undead. So I gathered the flock. Likewise. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case the Steel Garrote breach our defenses. Better to have them and not need them. Oh, and I've been meaning to thank you. Whatever you did in the garden seems to have worked. Emerald Stair is healing, believe it or not. Once this is over, our crops will flourish like never before. Easier said than done, I suppose. Best of luck out there. And don't worry about a thing. My flock will keep us safe and secure.
Thank you, Elia. My compliments to the flock, as always.
I wasn't worried until she said that. Let's get out of here.
Enjoy the time with your... We know you.
Ich muss nur noch gucken. Hier unten sind auch noch welche.
As prepared as he'll ever be.
The Steel Garrote
Ach, die Waldläufer.
I'll stay back here. The others can provide close range.
I'm not running. Not this time.
Den haben wir nie gesprochen. Da bin ich gar nicht hingekommen, ne? Das sind Gestorbene. Und ich beklau die noch. Das ist hier das Krankenlager. Da oben müssen wir hin. Oh. Bin jetzt hier runtergeplumpst. Mit denen haben wir gesprochen. Ja. Da sind wir ja gar nicht hingekommen, ne? Das habe ich nicht geschafft. Ich habe das vor...
Oh, Envoy. How good to see you here as we stand together at the brink of this historic event. I don't know if thank you is precisely what I want to say, but I am grateful to you for bringing Dolna's theft to light. Paradis burns from the torches of the Steel Garrote. The people of the living lands stand ready to defend their home. Yes, what happens in Paradis now will decide the fate of the Parkrunen after all.
What's the plan if Paradis falls?
We will find a way to persevere. We Parkrunen have a gift for surviving inhospitable conditions, and always have. Whatever the outcome of the upcoming battle, do not forget us. I fear that more than our deaths. If Edir and the Steel Garrote have their way, they'll strip the history books of any mention of our culture and our ways. Future generations will only ever know us as an appendage of the Empire. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope so, Envoy. I truly do. That's as much as I'll say. You have a role in deciding what happens next. Do the right thing, Envoy. Let history remember you for the correct reasons.
Bin ich ja mal gespannt. Dann bin ich an dem vorbeigelaufen. Ne? Ich will da oben noch verkaufen. Verkaufen. Hast du was gesagt? Ich habe nichts gehört. Klack, klack. Mehr war nicht. Oh. Na gut. Kann ich noch hier mit jemandem reden? Nee, ne? Gut, dann würde ich sagen... Konklave-Lager. Da sollen wir hin. Ich speichere. Mit wer bist du? Kann ich mit dir reden? Hauptmann Bunga.
Didn't think I'd be seeing you again. From one battlefield to another, eh? Dream thralls and now...
Ja, erzähl ruhig weiter.
Envoy?
Ah.
Is it really you?
Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Makutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Sabadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them? Ludwig had intimated that this land grew a new god. But how can that be?
Giada and I have some theories about the nature of the Adra in the living lands.
I'd say we're past the point of theorizing.
If the Adra here is a closed system, like a terrarium for our souls, then a gradual accumulation of essence could coalesce into a being in the beyond.
Much like the formation of gemstones. All it takes is time and the right application of pressure.
Wodka no doubt saw Sabadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart PARADIS? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Nakutedek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakukubel. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
Ich könnte einen jungen Gott ebenso wenig in einen Käfig verhorten lassen, wie ich das einem Kind der Gestandenen antun könnte.
Let's hope they don't decide to further amend themselves by coming for our heads.
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now.
But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked PARADIS. Inquisitor Ludwig has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwig's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Regrettably, she's not in the business of making exceptions for people she deems oathbreaker. So long as her passion for Wodeka lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think,
Interessant,
impossible.
interessant.
Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwig who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her Steel Garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
We've had no news from inside for several days. From what we can observe, southern Paradis is in pieces, and the remaining militia batters at the gates to no avail.
Is there nothing our people can do?
Given the state of our supply routes after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garrote's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water in a matter of days.
We brought as many Hail and Able from Thirdborn as would come. But after the Dream Scourge and our losses from Nakukubel, we could spare so few. I worry it won't be enough.
Likewise, my wardens are still reeling from effects of the eruption. Most of my men remain at the keep. I can't risk them against the Steel Garrote for the sake of Paradis, not when we are so few.
Ich denke, die Feste ist kaputt.
Well, it's been a point of debate. We can't agree on how to stand against the Steel Garrote, nor who should lead the effort.
Nobody wants to risk their people at the front.
So you let the Paradis militia go it alone?
Even if our meager forces should make it inside,
The siege won't end until Ludwig does. And none of you know how to kill her.
precisely. The lawful settlement of a new Adirian colony, supposedly. Or the establishment of a Wodekan state. She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a powerful endorsement. Somewhere inside that hollow head of hers, I believe she always hoped she'd turn you to her side. Remember, she has an obligation to Boudica, a solemn oath. And neither the Steel Garrote nor the queen that was look kindly upon oathbreakers.
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Ludwig in the tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence.
Ludwig's the muscle. I'm merely the personality. What was I supposed to do? Frown her into submission?
What good are you as a diplomat if you can't even keep your own beast under control?
The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true God. That's Ludwig's vision for the Living Lands.
Glaubst du, dass sich das Land der Lebenden... Ja, ich habe eigentlich jetzt genug. Die ganze Folge haben wir fast nur gequatscht.
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here.
Ich weiß, was ich gern tun würde. Warum sind wir beide überhaupt an dieser Entscheidung beteiligt, Hülgard?
The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adir's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid.
Tribute, he says. Taxes. Soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Mhm.
Subtle, pernicious, touch the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. A web gleaming with dew. They weave, they wait.
Of course.
Kolonie kommt nicht in Frage. Nein, kommt auch nicht in Frage. Und das, was ich eben gefragt habe, das kommt eigentlich auch nicht in Frage.
Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came
vielleicht
together
vereint sie die
and formed a
Situation
nation
ja
of
auch.
your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
Sagt exakt
I
das
think we
Gleiche.
ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Risk into bounty. Does the winter frost dissuade the seeds? Many fruits on our boughs. We graft many leaves into strength.
Of course.
Ich frage das aber auch ab, ne? Das wird wieder eine lange Folge.
The
Da
living
sind wir mit
lands would
durch.
become an extension of the Adiran Empire in leadership and law. Soldiers bearing the flag of Adir would be garrisoned in every town. They would be paid in Adiran shelling. Their roads would be smooth Adiran roads. Their medicine would be hygienic Adiran medicine. And then our customs would become their customs. Our strengths would become their strengths. Our
Totale
emperor
Aufgabe.
turned toward a common purpose. No one, not Rawatai, not the Valian Republic. This island would be safe for the first time in its history. And safe it would remain.
Aber sie ist nicht mehr die Insel, die sie mal war.
He would suppress our culture before it's had a chance to grow. Everything my people cultivated would be reduced to a footnote. If you have any love for this land, do not allow him to overwrite our history.
Rawatai built its empire from colonies like this. Many have become centers of culture and prosperity, backed by the protection of a strong navy. Of course, it can take decades to get there. And this road isn't an easy one. But Adir won't be the only empire eyeing this place. A formal agreement now could protect us from something worse later.
It shall be peaceful in that all dissenters will be silenced. So there's that.
The Living Lands is a lot of things, but it will never be Adir, no matter how hard Adir wants it to be.
Ja, Kai, da bist du überstimmt.
Adir should turn back now and save everyone a bunch of blessed day trouble.
The adder's promise. Clip our feathers as we find our wings. The deed binds as the wire binds. To drown us. Why were we set free?
Well, let's not twiddle our thumbs while Paradis burns.
Die beiden Varianten hier, ne? Die Anführer des Landes der Lebenden werden abstimmen und ich werde das akzeptieren, wofür sie sich entscheiden. Oh, was für ein langer
Envoy,
Weg.
be reasonable. This is not a good idea. Give these people an ounce of agency, and there's no telling what they'll do. Wodika, have mercy on my soul. Well, what will the illustrious leaders of the Living Lands decide?
So this is what I want. I would prefer we keep to ourselves as we have. But if it will take all of us to repel your people, a united Living Lands it is.
The Living Lands is going to need trade partners if we're gonna make it out here. I support a grave rum.
Standing tall together, the Living Lands could be the envy of the world. I am for a united Living Lands.
Well, it's hardly unanimous, but the majority shall rule. This shall be a united Living Lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwig and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
Will ich doch. Legen wir los.
The Living Lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwig must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to...
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter.
Show them a fight, Envoy.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of...
Let's take back the city together.
Time to stop the Steel
Och
Garrote.
Mensch, jetzt muss jeder noch seinen Senf dazugeben. Also sorry. Oh. So, nächste Folge geht's weiter. Tschüss.